The following is a presentation of iRacing.com Motorsport Simulations on LSRTV, the voice of sim racing.
Up to this point, 11 weeks has only separated the top drivers by a mere 3 points coming into the final race. Segment 1 has proved to be a competitive one at that. Who will claim the title here tonight? Will it be J.D. Laird? Will it be Bentley Glazer? It's Pocono. It's the Tricky Triangle, and it's next on LSRTV and iRacing Live.
Did you know that Lion's sense of vision is so powerful, it actually enables nearby creatures to see better? Here we see lions assisting the offspring of others, while their parents are elsewhere in the wild. Brilliant, isn't it? Making the wild kingdom look much better indeed. Do good, be a lion.
Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to the virtual Pocono Raceway for race number 12 of the ASCORS SegPay Truck Series. Segment 1, presented by Garrett Smithley Racing. Joining me, Andy Kessler, topside in the LSR TV booth, is Brett Wheeler, as well as producer Cisco Scaramuzza down in the production trailer, getting that picture to you. We come to one of the trickiest tracks on the circuit, one with 3 distinct corners, and one with 3 different size straightaways as well. It's Pocono, it's the Tricky Triangle. We're in for a treat here tonight. 60 laps the scheduled distance for these drivers. Lots of time to get things done, but at the same time, cautions at this race, they tend to lag on for quite a bit, 2 minutes per lap. These guys want to run the majority of this under the green flag conditions, but we got ourselves quite a battle here tonight as well, Brett. This is going to be an exciting race.
Yeah, it certainly should be. As you said, it's Pocono. It is a tricky triangle, so anything can happen. Over the past 11 weeks, we've seen quite a few different winners, and let's hope we can get a new winner into victory lane tonight.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So far this season, Mitchell Hunt, Adam Gilliland are tied with each other, 3 wins apiece on the season. Yet, championship leader coming into tonight, Bentley Glazer, by just 3 points over J.D. Laird. Been a great battle between these 2 drivers since the drop of the green flag way back some 11 weeks ago, and now we get set to crown segment 1's champion. We did that just a couple weeks ago for the Cup Series. Ray Alfala getting it done there, and we have an opportunity here with Bentley Glazer, J.D. Laird trying to get it done, but they have to get through Pocono. Interesting racetrack to say the least, and as well, they got to keep that 8 truck, of Adam Gilliland behind. He has missed 2 races this season. Still has an opportunity as well, just 10 points back of this championship battle. This is absolutely going to be fantastic.
He's going to be one to beat, and as you said, he's missed 2 races, and out of the 2 races he's missed, he's actually taken out 3, I believe, out of 8 races as well. So his record is very, very impressive, and he will be one to watch in that 8 truck.
He absolutely will be. It's that time, though, to go down trackside now to take a look at tonight's LSR TV starting lineup. And on the pole in the 26th, his first start of the season, Chad Lawton take the pole with a 56.795. Brian Schoenberg in the 55 will start on the outside of row number 1. Chad Coleman in the 20 truck will start third. And how about championship contender Adam Gillen in the 8 starting fourth, while Byron Daly in the 60 will start fifth.
In the 01, Alex Bergeron will start position number 6. Position 7 is going to be the 51 of Justin Fuller. Adam Benefield will start to his outside in car number 83 out of position number 8. David Krakorian will start position 9 in car 66, and Alan Elwood will start position number 10 in car number 5.
Alan Elwood getting the job done last week, 1 week ago at the Rockingham Speedway. He will start, like you said, in that 10th spot. Row number 6, the 11th starting spot. That'll be the number 4 of Timmy Hill. Bentley Glazer, championship points leader, going into tonight's going to start in that 12th spot. E.J. O'Rourke will start 13th outside of row number 7. It's going to be our other championship contender, J.D. Laird, in that 23 truck, while Jordan Hightower in the 22, he'll roll off 15th.
And to his outside, out of row number 8, is going to be the 38 of Justin Weaver. To the inside of row 9, we have Tommy Ryan in car number 99. And to his outside is Alan Creer, starting position number 18. Position 19 is going to be the 03 of Jake Simmons. And to his outside is going to be the 19 of Tyler Dalton.
Stephen O'Rourke will start 21st. Richard Beasley in the 10 will start 22nd, 23rd. Last truck to take time in qualifying, that'll be the 32 of Joshua Geyer. Trey Edson, the first one to not take qualifying, will start 24th, and 25th will be the 91 of Doy Woods.
27th will be Paul Cooper. Davey Skoll will start 28th. Then we go back to Lewis Calderton, Rich Jett, Dwight Beverly, and John Wilco rounds out the 32 car field here at Pocono.
That's going to be an absolutely fantastic race here tonight, and we look at overall what's been going on with this series and what's going on as far as this track, segment 1, coming to an end. Well, how about the Pocono Speedway? Just one of those places that we look at every single time we come to it, and it's just so unique in its way. A long turn, sweeping turn number 1, then you got a short sweeping turn number 2, and then you got the long flat turn number 3. So all 3 corners much different as well. Turn 1, 14 degrees of banking. Turn 2, just 8, and turn 3, a mere 6 degrees of banking in that corner as well. So lots going on at this racetrack. It takes a good driver to be able to conquer all 3 turns, and one thing we'll have to keep an eye on all night long is momentum. These trucks are a momentum-based vehicle, especially on this sim, and when you talk about that and you talk about these long straightaways, it's going to be all about corner exit for these guys, and you're going to be able to see who the comers and goers are over the course of this one as it unfolds. Any final thoughts, though, Brett, as we get set to get underway and 31 trucks getting to do it here at Pocono?
Anything can happen. It's as you said, it's already been a tricky racetrack. Momentum, a lot of patience as well, and as you said, you want to get that drive off of the corner, especially turn number 3. That's the most trickiest of them all. So if they can conquer turn 3, I think they're going to be headed towards victory lane.
Will it be fuel strategy? Will it be raw speed that gets it done tonight? Only time will tell, and 60 laps from now, we shall see. Who will also be our season or segment 1 champion? We'll also find out in a mere 60 laps. Green flag underway, and Chad Lawton not wasting any time. Pretty good jump, but not wasting any time behind him. Looking to almost go 3 wide there just for a moment. That was the 51 of Justin Fuller. Wisely chooses to back off just there. We'll go double file, though, from 4th on back. That's the 8 of Adam Gillen now on the outside, trying to get something done on that outside lane. We'll shut the door, and they'll continue to race side by side for that 4th spot down the Long Pond straightaway.
Yeah, you're up to about 8th or 9th spot now. The car's got 3 wide, as E.J. O'Rourke in car number 41 did make it 3 wide, and almost contact there between the 36 of Bentley Glazer and Alan Elwood there in turn number 2, but it was a Glazer to get a nice little run there as they go into turn number 3, and it's still pretty much single file, except a couple of those cars up near the front are running side by side. It's pretty much single file formation for the time being.
That it is, right around that Justin Fuller machine in that 51. That's where everyone started to look like they were going to race some too wide racing there, but off of turn number 3, they'll be able to sort it back out. Draft comes into play on down this front straightaway, all the straightaways to be exact, but this front straightaway, you can see these guys carry a ton of speed down into turn number 1. Makes it for some interesting racing down there if they can get slowed up enough to not have to push up the racetrack here. The 01 now, Alex Bergeron looking to the inside of the 60 of Byron Daly. That is a battle for that 5th position as they work their way in turn number 2.
Yeah, let's go back to about 13th to 14th spot. JD Laird and Bentley Glacier, your 2 front runners in the championship. They were running side by side, and then back in behind them is Jordan Hightower. So he was actually getting a run on Glacier and JD Laird as well, but they were running side by side. But it is going to be JD Laird who does pull up in front of Bentley Glacier out of turn number 3.
We'll get that spot for the time being. He needs a couple more points and a couple more spots to get the championship done, but for right now, that 23 machine definitely on the right way forward here. 2 spots up since the start of this race. This battle up front continues to go on for that 5th spot. How about that 60 of Byron Daly now looking to the inside of the 01 of Alex Bergeron. Those 2 swapping positions over the last couple laps. And how about the 83 as well? Just behind him, Adam Benefield now looking for a spot on Justin Fuller.
Yeah, nice little battle here for 5th and 6th as well as 7th and 8th. 2 wide side-by-side racing here as they come out of turn 2. And it's going to be the 01 of Alex Bergeron, who does get a run on Byron Daly, but Daly back to the inside in turn number 3, and Daly looks going to have the run coming off a 4 as they pull up side-by-side. They're almost making contact into the wall.
We'll see a lot of trucks right there getting loose coming off that corner. That flat corner, like we talked about, just 6 degrees of banking. You got to be very patient. Almost reminds you of the corner in New Hampshire. Very flat. You just got to be patient getting back onto that throttle. We'll see a lot of guys force the issue there. Get on it a little too soon, you're going to end up into that fence there. So we'll see if that plagues anybody at all. Byron Daly gets that spot from the 01. But Alex Bergeron not done yet. He's going to look back to the inside now. Just 1 lap later as they head back to turn number 2. Once again, up front, though, the top 4 guys have started to pull away. In fact, the top 3 have pulled away from the 8 of Adam Gillen. Gillen sits all by himself right now, about 6-7 truck lengths behind us in his rearview mirror. The action's still continuing to heat up. The 01 of Bergeron still looking for a spot. Now they're going to force the issue, almost go 3 wide. The 51 of Fuller is going to push the 01 way out of the racing groove. Here comes the 60 of Byron Daly and the 83 of Adam Benefield as well, as they all moving up another spot.
Yeah, Bergeron just got a little bit of a tap there in the rear end from Fuller, and that just got that truck very, very loose in turn number 3, and he lost 4 spots. So now he's going to have to work back up. He's back in 9 spots. So a nice little battle here, a little 5-car battle here for positions 5 through to 9. So still some side-by-side racing here by the 60 of Byron Daly and in the 83 of Adam Benefield.
And how about the 4, Timmy Hill, working his way up a few spots as well from the start. He's in the mix as they head back to the tunnel turn here, turn number 2. And he's right behind that 83 of Adam Benefield, trying to get around the 60 of Byron Daly. They'll push him back another spot as well. And as these guys battle side by side, those front runners pull further and further away, but it also allows these guys behind them to start coming in the picture as well. How about J.D. Laird up another spot, getting around that 66 of David Kirkori in this lap here. They cycle it all around. That should move him up 1 more spot, up to the 11th spot. So J.D. Laird still on the move with a few trucks right in front of him, too, looking to take some more positions as Adam Benefield moves up a couple more as well, up to that 6th spot, and he leads that small pack we've been watching here.
Yeah, just keep an eye on your points leader of Bentley Glacier in car number 36. He's all the way down in position number 15, so maybe he's just trying to play it cool and just try and give these guys a little bit of room and then maybe come back in the latter part of this race, or whether he's just his truck's just not up to speed with the other guys at the moment.
It is one of those places, like we talked about so many times, you have to be good in all 3 corners to get the job done, and right now struggling just a bit for our point leader, Bentley Glacier. J.D. Laird taking advantage of that with the few spots currently with the points lead as they run currently right now. Some action into turn number 3, though. That 5, Alan Elwood, looking to make a position, gets a little tight coming through that corner. He'll still try to get up right next to that 01 machine of Alex Bergeron as we go on board with that machine here down this long front straightaway. And they run side by side now for that position into the corner. But the 01, some slight damage on that back end from when he made that contact, but you can see the higher line as well through turn number 1 actually prevail that time right there, and Bergeron will be able to hang on to that spot, at least for the time being. Looks like the 10 behind him, Richard Beasley, having some problems. He's going to lose a bunch of positions there into the grass. That's going to slow that 10 truck down quite a bit there. He'll be able to merge back into the traffic. We stay green, though, here on lap number 7. Chad Lawton continuing to lead. He's not been able to pull away, though. Brian Schoenberg still right there on his tail, just about a 10th off. Two truck lengths now as they work their way off turn 3 down the long straightaway to the start-finish line. And they'll complete lap number 7 that time by, and that'll give us 54 laps still left to go in this one. Justin Fuller, though, starting to feel some pressure a little bit behind. That is the battle for the 5th spot. How about the 83 of Adam Benefield, looking for more here in turn number 1.
Yeah, he's looking to the inside of the 51 of Justin Fuller, but Fuller does have that run as Benefield just gets a little bit loose there, coming off of turn number 1 and the 60 of Byron Daly coming to the outside to make this another side-by-side battle for positions 6 and 7 on the racetrack as they enter turn number 2. They still run side-by-side, and it's Benefield on the inside, Daly on the outside. Daly makes contact with the wall, and that's going to slow up his truck, and that is going to allow of the 4 of Timmy Hill to pull up on the inside of Daly.
Yeah, a little bit of wall action there, a grazing of the wall by the 60. Doesn't look like he hurt him too much there, so they're able to hang on at least to that position ahead of the 4, Timmy Hill, for the time being, but it definitely slowed him up there on the corner and allowed that 83 of Adam Benefield to keep that 6th spot here as they race on lap number 9. Lots of action all around the racetrack, but a bunch of little packs we'll see at this racetrack, guys hanging on to each other with the draft here. And we'll take a look back a little bit further back around that 16, 17 position there. He's got E.J. O'Rourke in that 4. Trying to hold off a couple of drivers behind him. Some side-by-side action going on right now with the 3 of Stephen O'Rourke. The 16 is of Alan Cryer as well. So these guys all had started outside the top 10, and they're still continuing to struggle there. Real close to dropping outside the top 20. So this is one of those places. I've mentioned this so many times, but it is so tough to be so good in all 3 corners. A lot of times if you're good in one corner or 2 of them, it's still not good enough to get your truck up towards the front, and it'll take some track position, some games on the speedway as well. Caution, though, out on the speedway, and we'll have our first one of the night here, and it'll come on lap number 10 as the pace car will come out. We'll try to figure out who exactly that was and get an update, and I'm having a hard time finding anybody on this one. But our first caution.
Yep. First caution of the. No, sorry, I was going to say first caution of the night, and Kevin on the of the 1 machine of Trey Edson, who started 24, he's up to 16, so he's already passed 8 cars in about 9 laps. So he's starting to make a move. He was the first car not to take a time.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on all those guys that are trying to make their way up through. Not sure exactly what this caution is for. We'll try to find out exactly what it was. Maybe some debris in one of the corners. It looks like a self-spin by the 62 of John Wilco is what we're getting word on as what happened there. So we'll try to get a replay for you up on your screen. But the 62, John Wilco, struggling here in the opening parts of the lap. Started 32nd, currently runs in that 30th spot as last on the grid as we get the replay up on your screen. And our first caution of the night just flat out lost it right there for the 62 of John Wilco. And this time around, pit road will be open. It's been about 9 laps for these drivers. I'm sure we'll see them all come down pit road, give service to their vehicles, and we might even see some guys take some gambles here with maybe a 2 tires to see exactly what that would be like, or what it will be, how the truck will feel with those just 2 right side tires on that machine. The leader's heading down that way. Chad Lawton, the leader since the drop of the green flag, and he'll be the first one down to service of his crew.
You actually almost just overdrove his pit stall just then, but managed to pull up in time. So a lot of these drivers just opting to get 4 tyres and some fuel as well. So fresh set of tyres on all parts of the vehicle as a 26. He's going to be the first one of the lead pack to to exit pit road, but the number 4 machine, 4 cars stayed out. Sorry.
Yeah, 4 cars decided to stay out here on this first caution and on this first chance to go down pit road to take service in this one here. Working lap number 11, though, under the caution flag for the first time. John Wilco bringing out the first caution flag. We'll take this time, though, to step aside, take a break of our own here. You're watching the ASCORS SegPay Truck Series right here at the Pocono Raceway. All right here on LSRTV, the voice of sim racing.
Ready.
Excited to be here at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca this weekend and driving in the Lamborghini Super Trofeo. Right before this, on Tuesday, we announced that I'll be driving in the Indy 500, in the 100th running of the Indy 500 for KV Racing Technologies, sponsored by Indiana Donor Network, and a campaign that's all about organ donation and honoring those that were organ donors. Yeah, excited to be for the month of May that's around the corner and driving the number 25 Driven to Save Lives Chevrolet for KV Racing Technologies. We're actually driving in the iRacing 24 Hours of Daytona, which was a long 24 hours. My eyes were a bit sore after that, staring at the screen for a long time. But one of the teammates there has helped me actually design the livery for the car. And really thankful to Michael Peters for all the time he's put into designing what I think is a really cool looking livery. I've actually been using the iAdvance Motorsport Simulator that Darren Manning set up. Beautiful system, beautiful setup. So it's as realistic as you can get, and be running a few laps to get the visual references down when he hit the track in May 16th. Yeah, I'd encourage everyone to check out and follow the number 25 Driven to Save Lives car in May, and also visit the driventosavelives.org website, where you can find out a little bit more about my story and also Justin's story, which is the reason why this all became. I never even knew about organ donation, never really gave it much thought until last August when he lost Justin, and his heroic act of being an organ donor saved 5 lives. Really got to see the impact that was able to make, and through a very hard time, that was probably the one shining light out of that, was just his act and his selfless act, and just the impact that had, not just in the 5 lives that he saved, but also people since that have similar stories, similar tragedies that happened in their life, and they've been through a very similar thing, and also people reaching out and saying that they became a donor because of that, and that goes beyond saving 5 lives. That could save more than that. So it's just carrying on Justin's legacy, and just really happy to be promoting that foundation.
Welcome you back here to the Pocono Raceway, the ASCORS SegPay Truck Series right here on LSRTV and iRacing Live as the field gets set to get back under the green flag racing. We had our first caution of the night. The pace car now off of turn number 3. We'll look to the safety pit road, and Chad Lawton once again will bring the field to the green flag. Green flag is out. Pretty good jump by both lines right now. The top 8 there all jumbled up nicely together, making the top 10 now as they race their way down into turn number 1 and they get themselves up to speed here. How about the 51 of Fuller making it 3 wide into turn number 1? Pretty bold move right there, especially with the way these trucks handle on that bottom line. Able to not push up right there. It will not prevail him, at least for the time being, but he'll try to keep it 3 wide now as they head their way to the tunnel turn. Battle for the lead still up there. 55 of Brian Schoenberg trying to use the outside lane to get around Chad Lawton. So far, so good, but got a little bit loose there in the corner entry and awfully close to the wall there. Chad Lawton, though, will pull out the lead, and Chad Coleman now looking to the inside of that 55 machine for the battle for second off turn 3.
Yeah, Coleman getting a good run. Restarted 4th. And now he's battling for second spot with the 55 of Brian Schoenberg. He almost hits the wall coming off at turn number 3, but it is going to be Chad Lawton who does resume the race lead. And that number 8 machine of Adam Gilliland is not going anywhere, and he's right up there in the mix of things in this battle for the top spot.
It absolutely is. The 8 Adam Gilliland looking for every possible. Oh, trouble behind the 51 of Adam Fuller. He's around the 5 getting in there. J.D. Laird, one of our points contenders, almost getting him and able to dodge that one right there. So J.D. Laird, you can breathe a sigh of relief there on the first ability to miss that one right there. But the 5 of Alan Elwood, last week's winner, a little bit of front end damage on that machine. Our second caution of the night goes out in the replay up on your screen. Flat out looked like he just lost it right there and able to somewhat keep it off, but just with everybody so jumbled up like they were on the restart like that, nowhere to go for those guys. But a great job by a lot of them being able to slow it down and not get involved with that. Looks like only a couple trucks with some minor damage on that one there. So our second caution of the night comes out here pretty quickly on lap number 15 and gets set to get this thing underway. Pit stops probably won't happen this time though. These guys were just on there. Track position is going to be huge, especially for these guys up towards the front of the field. But some pretty good races we saw up towards the front for that one lap there of the green flag. We saw a great battle for the lead between Schoenberg and Lawton. Also some great battles going on for the top the third, fourth, and fifth spot there between Adam Gill and Chad Coleman and Timmy Hill as well. So a great job by all those drivers in that opening lap there of this restart and able to sort things out themselves, at least amongst themselves for the time being. But biggest mover so far up inside that top 5 is the 4 of Timmy Hill from the 11th spot, up 6 spots already, and great job he's done here in the opening laps trying to get himself back up there. He was a points contender, a challenger for this championship just a couple weeks ago, but unfortunately had to miss another race. Missed last week at Rockingham. That was his 3rd race missed in this opening segment, so that will too many points lost for that 4 for have him an opportunity for segment 1 championship run. So it leaves it between 3 guys right now in a pretty good battle between a lot of great drivers so far with that. And you look at Bentley Glazer, what he's done so far in the 11 starts with 7 top 10s. It's been a pretty good race for him, or first segment, I should say, for him. J.D. Laird as well with the 7 top 10s. And you got to look at Adam Gillen, who sits 10 points back from these guys in the 9 starts that he's made. I mean, just absolutely phenomenal. 6 top 5, 6 top 10s, and, of course, the 3 poles to go along with the 3 wins that he has here in segment number 1. Even with the 2 races missed, allows him the opportunity to race for a championship here tonight, just 10 points back and doing everything so far in his power to give himself the opportunity running up towards the front, currently sitting in that 3rd spot, and J.D. Laird now in 10th at 7 points. Not quite enough. He's going to need that 23 and the 36 to have a little bit more issues here. Of course, Bentley Glazer right now having his own issues here at the beginning of this race. Started in the 12th spot, currently runs 23rd, so he's looking to get a little bit better here over the course of the long run. of this race. Just came down pit road to get service done on his vehicle once again, so he'll get some fresh tires, maybe some fuel, maybe hoping this goes a little bit of a green flag run, and maybe an opportunity for him to stay out a little bit longer than some of these other guys. Of course, Brett, this is probably the only track on the circuit that you can make a green flag pit stop and still not go down a lap.
Yeah, I believe it is actually. It's quite a long track for Pocono. I think it's what 2.5 miles, I believe. 3 turns, and to not go down a lap is obviously critical. Especially in the latter part of the race. If the people that stay out go a little bit longer, they might get a bit more of a run. And that obviously allows them not to go a lap down as well. So very, very critical. And I was just as you mentioned, Bentley Glazer, the points leader, he's actually going to drop back to about 27th or 28th spot after coming in to the pits just to refuel, get some tyres, and maybe fix just a tiny bit of damage that he may have copped just from avoiding that spin in turn number 1 on the last restart.
So Bentley Glazer has some work to do to get himself back up into the mix here. JD Laird, of course, doing what he can in the 10th spot right now, and Adam Gilliland needs a couple more spots to lead this race, get some bonus points for himself as well to help his cause for the championship here tonight. Second segment, though, just around the corner for these guys, and look forward to that, too. A new crop of drivers coming in as well with the guys we've seen all season so far, and we saw it in the Cup Series as well. A whole bunch of new faces, new drivers coming into that series to make things a lot more interesting, I think, as Segment 2 rolls around and gets us set for that final third segment later on this year, and we'll be able to crown ourselves a champion once that chase happens here. Of course, the chase will happen in the Truck Series as well, and all these guys are fighting for with these wins here in Segment 1, and then they will be along with Segment 2 as well, racing for those race wins to get themselves locked into a championship hunt here for the 2016 season. So lap number 18, we're still right under caution for the second time here tonight, and so far what we've seen, Brett, we've seen a lot of guys utilizing that high line in turn number 1. Turn number 2, it seems that bottom lane is the place to be so far for that. The guys on the outside just unable to hang on to it, get too close to that wall on corner exit. And then turn number 3, some guys are being able to use that bottom side to their advantage. Other guys, they kind of like that middle lane. With only 6 degrees of banking, it's probably anybody's guess as far as which lane in turn number 3 is going to be the one that's going to give you the most speed down the front straightaway.
Yeah, I think coming off of turn 3, I think the middle lane at the moment is proving to be the lane choice. But if you get the side-by-side battle, you go into 1, you really want that top side, because if you go down low, you get that side draft, that's going to get you a little bit loose, especially on the bottom side, right near that curve as well. So that is very, very critical to make sure you're on the top side coming off of turn 1, because if you do get the run, you will be able to get to the bottom in turn number 2, and that's where you want to be. As you said earlier, these trucks are all about momentum, and if you can keep that momentum up, that's certainly going to put you on the front foot.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The momentum is the big key, especially in these trucks. The field, though, going to get double filed up here. We'll get set to go back under action. About 2 more miles on the speedway. How about SegPay? For over 10 years, SegPay, proud sponsor, of course, of the ASCORS SegPay Truck Series. They are, of course, the leader in credit and online payment transactions for merchants in all categories, with a specialization in helping retailers process credit card transactions. They are a leader in card not present transactions and have strong relationships with acquiring banks, credit card schemes. Learn more at segpay.com. SegPay, proud sponsor of the ASCORS Truck Series. How about Garrett Smithley Racing, the proud sponsor, of course, of Garrett Smithley and the number 0 JD Motorsports Chevy Camaro. We can see on a weekly basis on the NASCAR Xfinity Series. So the field getting set to get back under the green flag condition. Our second caution of the night for the 51 down in turn number 1 of Justin Fuller getting loose and then making a little bit of contact with the 5 truck. And then, of course, J.D. Laird sneaking right by that one, not getting any damage on that truck. So a good thing for one of our championship contenders coming into this final race in segment number 1. Turn number 3, the pace car will bring the field through there and look to get to pit road for the second time here tonight and get set to get back underway. Chad Lawton again will bring the field to the green flag, and the green flag waves, and once again a pretty good jump. How about the 8 right there on that restart, just underneath, or just behind I should say, of Chad Lawton, and got right up there, gave him a good shot, and I really think without that shot you might be seeing that 55 lead him down into turn number 1.
Byron Daly in car number 60 is on the bottom, making this 3 wide. As the 8 car of Adam Gilliland getting very, very loose, coming off of turn number 1. He managed to save it, but the 60 of Daly is going to move to the outside. So Gilliland losing about 3, possibly even 4 spots. He really needs to pick up the pace now as the 22 of Jordan Hightower is going to look to the outside, but Gilliland is going to look to the inside of Daly as they run side by side out of turn number 2.
Oh, trouble in turn number 2. The 3 is Stephen O'Rourke. Like we're going to stay green there. Had some problems in turn number 2. A little bit of contact there. But those trucks able to keep it going straight. We'll stay green flag racing and battle for that race lead. How about the 55? Takes it over as Hightower in the 16 of Alan Cryer goes spinning down into pit road. And that'll keep us green as well as the battle for the lead still continues as we go down the front straightaway. And Chad Lawton looking to take it back over for Brian Schoenberg. Schoenberg able to lead that lap, though, that last time by. And these guys duking it out up towards the front as all kinds of action behind them going on. Drivers all over the racetrack right now. The first side-by-side action we got, though, that is for that 5th spot. The 8 of Adam Gilliland trying to get a couple of those spots back. Moves around that 20 of Chad Coleman right down for position. And now sets his sights on the 60 of Byron Daly. Daly doing a great job as well. Backs into the top 5 for himself. Started right there in that 5th spot, but had fell back early on in this run here. Adam Gilliland trying to fight back, trying to get back up in there. And how about J.D. Laird up to the 8th spot? 2 spots since the drop of the green flag. And single file now, top 10 off of turn 3.
Yeah, Gilliland, I've got to make special mention of Byron Daly. As you said, he fell back a bit. He's now running in the 4th spot. He's made some really aggressive moves, made it 3 wide quite a few times in turn number 1, trying to run that bottom side. We've seen a lot of guys utilise the top side in turn 1, but he's making the bottom work in turn number 1, so hats off to Byron Daly. Keep an eye on him in car number 60 as he's going to make a charge towards the front 3 here in turn number 2.
Tell you what, that battle we had for the lead a couple laps ago there, the 55 able to take it away, but then off of turn number 3, at 26, just too strong. Chad Lawton, he had so much speed and so much momentum coming off of turn number 3. It really catapulted him out to the front. 2 truck lengths, make it 3 now as they work their way through turn number 3 and go down the front straightaway, trying to keep that draft. That's what the 55 has to do. That's what the 01 of Alex Bergeron. Shout out to him as well here. Up to the 3rd spot after struggling a little bit in that opening run. But since we've gotten the fresh tires back on that machine, he's figured out this racetrack pretty well right now, running in that 3rd spot. A little bit of separation between him and Byron Daly, so he's kind of in a comfortable spot, at least for the time being. The only thing we've seen with that 01, though, is he pushes the issue a little bit too much in the beginning, wears his tires out pretty quickly, and over a long green flag run, tends to fall back, and we see that pretty much every that 01, but just still somewhat not been able to conserve the tires as much as some of these front runners each week.
Yeah, I think he's starting to slowly lose the draft effect of the 55 as Schoenberg has really caught up and he's now on the back bumper bar of the 26 of Chad Lawton and is your race leader. So I expect sort of a battle to come side by side probably in the next lap, or in most worst case scenario, second lap as a 55 of Schoenberg. He's right up on the back bumper. He's now going to move to the inside. He's going to look to make a pass on the inside in turn 1 as they go down the main straightaway, and he's going to make the move on the inside, but the 26 of Lawton is still running the top side. He's actually running the middle part of the racetrack. He's getting the drive off of turn number 1.
Yeah, that high side just definitely works right there. Bogs you down too much on the bottom side, the 55. Saw that right there, and I think that's why you didn't see that 26 really make a big fuss about him getting to his inside there. If you can't get yourself cleared before into turn number 1, it's going to make it awfully difficult to pass on the bottom side, and we saw it right there that last time through turn number 1. Though the battle for the lead, though, it's not changing at all right now about half a truck length right now separating the top two as they work their way off turn 3 one more time and down the start-finish line. Here this time you can see the draft, how well and how quickly that 55 closes up on that back bumper, but by the time he can get there and get to the outside, he just runs out of time before they get to turn 1.
And this long straightaway, it's actually, they've sort of moved away from the one of Alex Bergeron. That draft, as you said, that draft effect, as he pushes Lawton virtually down the main straightaway, that just leaves Alex Bergeron, who's sitting there in the 3rd spot. He's trying to stay with the draft, but he's not catching any of the draft, so they slowly pull away from him. But he actually, Bergeron, actually gains back up more ground in turns 1 and 2.
They made up a lot of time. I think it also had a lot to do with those front two running side by side there for a moment. So we'll see how it shapes up here a few more laps into this one. 25 about to be complete this time by. It'll leave us 35 left to go here on the night. We're getting ever so close to that halfway point right now. A little bit further back, how about the 8, Adam Gilliland, trying to hang on to that 5th spot, but Adam Benefield, he wanted nothing of it as he looks to the inside down the front straightaway.
Yeah, another side-by-side battle here. This is for positions 5 as Benefield in car 83 is on the inside and Gilliland in car number 8 right in the middle. And Benefield actually clears him coming out of turn number 1, but look at Gilliland trying to make a move back. He's just going to stick up and stick behind his bumper, realizing it's not going to be a safe move for the pair of them as they race into turn number 2. And keep an eye on JD Led, who is started 14th, is now up into the 18th spot. And how about the 03 of Jake Simmons? Started position 19. He's found himself running nice, so a nice little top 10 there for the 03 of Jake Simmons.
Yeah, one guy who showed a lot of speed as well, just behind him early on in this one, the 4, Timmy Hill, kind of falling off the pace. Right now, almost 5 seconds back of our race leader. Sits in the 10th spot. Got a pretty comfortable gap between him and the 11th place driver right now, the 1 car of Trey Edson, and how about the 41 of E.J. O'Rourke as well, trying to make up some ground here as they work their way down the front straightaway. Alan Elwood doing a great job with the damage that he does have on that truck to be in that 13th spot currently as they run. Top 2, those 2, you can't separate them right now. Brian Schoenberg able to stick in that draft of the 26 machine of Chad Lawton, and they've been able to pull away now since they run single file from Alex Bergeron. And Bergeron, not too long from now, is going to find that 60 machine of Byron Daly in his rearview mirror.
Yeah. You just wonder if the 55 of Schoenberg and Lawton, they're just working together to pull away from the rest of the pack, and then come the latter part of the race, or even a green flag pit stop, they come out together and they sort of run the latter 5 to 10, 15 laps in a one-on-one battle. So they are starting to pull away from the 01 of Bergeron and the 60 of Byron Daly, but we're going to see Schoenberg just pull up to the inside of Lawton again in turn number 1, and he's just running a little bit higher now. Is the 55 of Schoenberg, but he's not going to get that run off of turn number 1. It's still going to be Chad Lawton, your race leader.
Yeah, it is. Tried it again, had the run, tried again for the bottom side. Wasn't able to make it stick on that bottom, get enough speed to get up off the corner, and Chad Lawton will continue to lead this one here. He's led just about every single lap so far in this race, except the ones under the caution flag. 2 caution flags ago, and other than that, the class of the field so far has been that 26, but Brian Schoenberg definitely not letting him out of his sights. He wants something to do with this race win before this thing is all said and done. Just 2 laps now from the halfway point. Race going by pretty quick here. We talk about it being pretty long, 150 miles with these 60 laps, but when you get in these green flag conditions and you start to see the field spread out like it is right now, it has that feel to go green all the way to the end, which means a green flag pit stop would be in order for these guys. And we talked about a green flag pit stop. You definitely, as long as you're up towards the front of the field like these guys we're looking at right now, if they were to make a pit stop under the green, they would not go a lap down. So it's going to be all about what they can get on and off pit road as quick as possible if they're going to gain any bit of time on these front 2 during the pit stops. The 01 of Alex Bergeron, though, has fallen back to the clutches of Byron Daly, as Byron Daly now closes that gap down to about a truck length and a half maybe as they enter turn number 3. Adam Benefield as well in that 83. He's been so consistent all season long, and he's been that driver. He gets the qualifying efforts. He'll be there right around the top 10 area. He'll do a great job with that, but just over the course of a long green flag run, you see that truck really come alive, and he's done it every single week so far this season. Unfortunately, not quite getting it close enough to get himself in victory lane this season just as of yet. So, got an opportunity here tonight. A pretty decent race truck now as he looks to the inside, I should say, of Alex Bergeron. That's not going to pan out as they go down the Long Pond straightaway, and they make their way into turn number 1. Our leaders, though, continue to pull away, now 1.6 seconds back to Alex Bergeron in that third spot. We'll make it Byron Daly as he was able to make it around that 0-1 there just a moment ago, and finds himself now trying to chase down these race leaders. Off of turn number 3, though, we will complete lap number 30. That'll bring us to our halfway point of this race. And, of course, the halfway point, well, that marks time for the iRacing Midway Race Break. Brought to you, of course, by iRacing, the world's premier online racing game. Especially organized racing from NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, and much, much more. Chad Lawton, your race leader, leading the most laps here so far tonight. Brian Schoenberg been trying to chase him down over the course of this last run. He runs second right now. Byron Daly has worked his way up into that third spot, and the 0-1 Alex Bergeron now runs fourth. Adam Benefield just behind him in the fifth spot. Adam Gilliland kind of struggling here as of late as the green has gone on. He's run sixth. Chad Coleman is seventh, eighth to J.D. Laird. Jake Simmons runs ninth, and Timmy Hill rounds out your top 10.
Yeah, Trey Edson will be in position number 11. Alan Elwood back there in 12th. We go back to Tyler Dalton. David Crickeron in 14th spot. EJ O'Rourke in 15th. Bentley Gleeser, your points leader, back there in 16th spot. We go back to Doy Woods in position number 17. We've got Paul Cooper, position 18. The 38 of Justin Weaver, position number 19. And the 99 of Tommy Ryan is in that 20th position.
21st right now goes to the 10 of Richard Beasley. Justin Fuller involved in that second caution of the night. He runs 22nd. 23rd goes to Luis Calderon. John Wilco, 24th. 25th to Stephen O'Rourke. Jordan Hightower in the 22 currently runs 26th. Last truck on the lead lap, that's the 32 of Joshua Geyer. He is in 27th. And the rest of these drivers just one lap down. Davey Scoville in the 52 runs 28th. 29th to Rich Jetty, and Alan Cryer in that 16 runs 30th. This has been your iRacing Midway Race Break. For more information on the wide variety of sim racing possibilities online, visit iRacing.com to sign up today. You can use the LSRTV promo code by entering PR-2016 LSRTV when you register for a new iRacing membership, and you get the late model free of charge along with the 13 cars and 14 tracks that are included with a first-time subscription. We're past the halfway point. We're starting to count the laps down here in the final race of segment number 1. We're going to take a break of our own as Chad Lawton continues lead the way here at Pocono, right here on LSRTV and iRacing Live.
While lions are notorious for their voracious appetites, they spend a great deal of time feeding other creatures. In fact, lions will take great care to ensure there's plenty to go around. As you can see, they keep giving with utter ferocity. Bravo, lions, and bon appetit. Do good, be a lion.
Welcome you back here to the Pocono Raceway. It's race number 12 of the first segment, the final race of segment number 1, the ASCORS SegPay Truck Series right here on LSRTV and iRacing Live. And pretty good battle up front. Hasn't really diminished at all, really, since we left or since this green flag has dropped here. Brian Schoenberg a couple of times of trying to take the lead away from Chad Lawton, but right now just content with riding behind him. They've continued to stretch out that lead now over the third place driver, Adam Benefield, who's made it up a couple more spots there up into that top 3, 2.9 seconds back of your race leader. And he's done a great job coming through the field and looking for another podium finish as well. J.D. Laird, our points leader currently because of the problems with that 36 of Bentley Glazer, and J.D. Laird currently in the 6th spot. So course of this long green flag run that we are under, but we should be seeing some green flag pit stops. Of course, these guys do not run a full fuel cell here. 60% is the fuel cell, so at this place you're probably looking about 25, maybe 28 laps of the green flag action for them to make it on a full fuel run. So I expect these guys inside the next 10 laps or so to make what would be their final stop if it does stay under the green flag conditions. Third place, Adam Benefield, mentioned he took that spot over. Well, he's starting to pull away from Byron Daly. Adam Gilliland has worked his way up into the top 5 as well, but you see all this, as we see the 23 of J.D. Laird actually heading down pit road as the 8 of Adam Gilliland had problems coming down off of turn number 3, and looks like some heavy damage hit the inside of the pit road wall there. But the 23, J.D. Laird, he's coming down now here on lap number 39 to get service of his machine. We'll keep an eye on that 8 truck, see how bad that damage is for Adam Gilliland here as he comes down pit road as well. Slides through his box just a little bit there, but he'll get service done to his truck. Looks like tires going on that machine, so it looks like the damage not too much, and he will continue on here with the opportunity, of course, for a championship run before the night is over. J.D. Laird wins the race off of pit road between those two drivers, and our leaders now off of turn number 3. We'll see when these guys decide to come down, because honestly, this pit, here comes Schoenberg, the 55, deciding to come down pit road this time, so he's coming down on lap number 40. That'll get his service done probably for the last time of the night. So pit road starting to get busy. All these drivers, different strategies. The 83 as well coming on pit road this time, looking for these fresh tires, trying to gain any type of advantage they can over the drivers they have been chasing since the beginning of this one.
Yeah, interesting to say about strategies of the 01 of Alex Bergeron, who was running 3rd, 4th there before we went to that commercial break. He actually come down pit road before that, so he was about 4 or 5 laps beforehand before anybody else decided to make that green flag pit stop. So keep an eye on the 01 of Alex Bergeron. He'd fallen back to about 24th spot, but he should be gaining some more positions now as a lot of these drivers come down pit road.
Yeah, the fresh tires will definitely help him, although it was a pretty risky gamble to come in that much quicker than the rest of them here. Leader Chad Lawton heading down pit road for his service here on lap 41, so he decides to stay out for just 1 lap longer than that 55 of Brian Schoenberg. The 60 of Byron Daly as well down pit road, so all these drivers starting to hit their way down there. Alan Elwood staying out at least 1 more lap, maybe possibly to get a lap lead and get himself a bonus point on this one. Schoenberg, though, off of turn number 3. We'll see how closely he can get to that 26 of Chad Lawton, as Lawton's still on pit road, and it looks like that 1 lap might be just enough to give that 55 the advantage, and it does, and he's actually going to pull out quite a bit here. He's already into turn number 1 as that 26 now just starts to get up to speed.
Very, very crucial. Green flag pit stop. I just said these guys. They're probably going to, but all barring a yellow, that really shouldn't come out now. As these drivers, you're going to see very evenly spread out here over the Pocono Raceway. But yeah, as I said, that one lap of Schoenberg now, he's going to most likely resume the race lead when all the drivers come down pit road, and he's got quite a bit of distance. I think he's got let's see. At least a few second lead anyway over the 26.
Yeah, definitely did a great job getting on and off pit road, and I'm taking a look back at his pit stop here to see actually what he did. It might have been a fuel or a tire strategy for that 55, and no, it wasn't. 4 tires. He did 4 tires. I thought maybe such a lead that he had right there that he might have taken just 2, but no, he decided to take the 4 tires. As well as we get some more drivers heading down pit road this time, and still under the green flag conditions here, but eventually Alan Elwood is going to have to make his way down pit road. He currently is your race leader right now, working into turn number 3, and he's got the 1 of Trey Edson along with the 03 of Jake Simmons and Timmy Hill right there with him. The top 4 currently on the racetrack, still out there now as they work their way off of turn number 3, and we'll stay out at least one more lap here as we complete 40 laps now, and we move on down to about 20 to go.
I wouldn't be surprised if the A1 of Alex Bergeron as well will inherit the race lead when all these drivers come down pit road, because as I said, he was at least 5 or 6 laps pit stop. Well, he came down pit road 5 or 6 laps ahead of everybody else, so that could be another factor in this race. Yeah, he's hoping for basically the rest of the race to run under green flag. So if that does all well, he should be close to finishing the race on an empty tank, and that's what you want. The lighter the trucks are, the faster they go.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He sits about 3 seconds right now over Brian Schoenberg, so coming in those couple of laps earlier definitely gave him a slight advantage, at least on the racetrack for the time being. The 55, that last time by, it looks like he was, can't count that lap because he was still on the pit road lap there, but Brian Schoenberg, I think, running a little bit quicker than that 01, so obviously going to gain some time on him as this thing goes on here. Alan Elwood stays out another lap this last time by here, so he'll put 41 in the books. Work number 42 here. Let's continue to go through our green flag pit stops. Timmy Hill around the 03 as well. He's up to that 3rd spot. These front runners right now could be just hoping that a caution comes out to give them that advantage, especially if they run another 5 or 10 laps, because I'm sure even though those guys who did come down pit road under the green flag conditions, after about 10 laps or so on those tires, I would expect to probably see them back down pit road as well. Trey Edson, though, in that 1 truck, having some issues there a little bit, way up the racetrack, but able to gather it back in there on turn number 3 and continue to motor along here, and they'll stay out once again another lap here. So these guys, obviously a different strategy going on right now for the 5, the 4, and the 1.
Yeah, interesting, but how these guys play it out, some guys obviously choosing to pit earlier, and some guys choosing to pit late, as you said, should we get another green flag run of about 10 to 12 laps, I'm sure these guys, they might even just stay out purely simply the fact because there's there's only sort of 16 laps remaining, so these guys, they don't want to see another caution, but I wouldn't mind seeing a caution just to bunch the field back up.
Yeah, it'll definitely start to play into who's got the better strategy if that was to happen, but absolutely have to see what these guys go and do here on this one. Bentley Glazer, of course, I'll mention one of our points leaders coming into he was our point leader coming into the night. And remember, he topped off before that. We went back green flag racing there way back in the field, so that 36 definitely could stay out there a little bit longer than some of those other guys. Alex Bergeron, though, his lead, it was 3 seconds, is down to about 1.5 seconds now over Brian Schoenberg as they continue to climb their way up the ladder through the charts there. Brian Schoenberg now into the 10th spot as the green flag pit stops continue to cycle through here, and it won't be too long. We are going to have to see guys like Alan Elwood, Timmy Hill, and Trey Edson alike having to come down pit road and get that green flag service that they're going to need before this one's over.
Yeah, Yeah, and that Schoenberg actually reeling Berger on in. That's now by 0.8, so less than a second. The 55 of Brian Schoenberg, and he's reeling him in thick and fast, as it's basically just the gap is getting smaller and smaller. As we see these guys at the front of the pack come into pit lane, the battle is really going to heat up for the front spot.
Yeah, it definitely is. Off of turn number 3, the gap is going to close even that much more now. It's only about 3 truck lengths separate the 01 and the 55 of Brian Schoenberg, as those two right now battle for that 8th spot on the racetrack. So still 7 guys out on the racetrack that have not made their final green flag pit stop, and they continue to stay out there logging some laps. Alan Elwood with a 1.3 second lead right now currently over Timmy Hill. Schoenberg, though, he's looking for what would be potentially the race lead now as he makes his way around the 01 down the long pond straightaway. He gets that job done, gets the pass done right before the tunnel turn, and that'll move him up into that catbird seat here once everybody makes their way down pit road. So an interesting strategy going on with a lot of these guys, and I think with this long of a run, that once these guys have made that green flag pit stop, the guys like Alex Bergeron, Brian Schoenberg, that if a caution was to come out at this point, I do believe you would see those guys down, at least for right side tires. But it definitely jumble the field up, and it definitely give guys like Alan Elwood, Timmy Hill, the opportunity to come down, get the 4 tires, and have an opportunity to win this thing.
Yeah, keep an eye on the 26 of Chad Lawton. He led quite a few laps there in the early parts of this race. He was actually about 3.5 seconds behind the 01 of Alex Bergeron, and he's now brought it back into virtually about 1.5 seconds as well. So he's really starting the motor in that number 26 machine, and he's going to start to make his way towards the front of the pack. But has he got something for Brian Schoenberg in the 55 in probably the last 12 laps of this race?
Well, it's going to be awfully close because he was about 3 seconds behind after the green flag pit stops, and right now it's only about 2 seconds separating that 55 and the 26. So even though it's only been 1 lap, that 26, a lot of speed in that truck here tonight, and definitely going to be someone who's going to have to contend with before this thing is over. Alan Elwood, Timmy Hill continue to stay out there as we complete lap number 48. Ourselves with just 12 laps left to go in this race. Not a lot of time, and if you're going to come down pit road, these guys need to happen, but the problem is they've been out so long on these older tires, their opportunity, even coming down maybe for a splash and go, maybe for just 2 right side tires, that screen, or up on the grid, I should say, up to the 8th spot, just under 9 seconds off of your race lead, so he continues to poke away at that. But just down, it's just a little bit under 2 seconds now, the separation between him and Chad Lawton. Chad Lawton definitely starting to reel in that number 55 and potentially put us on a great battle here as the 55 actually runs through some lap traffic right now. He's got, or actually it's not lap traffic, he just got around David Krikorian, and now we're looking to get around Tommy Ryan, E.J. O'Rourke, 3 wide down the front straightaway. Alan Cryer in the 16, a lap truck. They're trying to get around him as well, but that is for position right there. I'll move Schoenberg up to the 4th spot there as he's able to make his way around those other drivers. And then now Chad Lawton will have to make his way up through that same mess that 55 just did as well. So he's got a lot of work to do, but you can see the separation of speed there, the 26, how much speed he has over guys like 41 out there. Has yet to make his final green flag pit stop here on this one. Look at the speed still off of turn number 2 on David Krikorian, able to get up on the next to him. I mean, this is just absolutely amazing, the difference in speed with the fresh tires and with the not fresh tires.
Yeah, that's the guys, especially at Bergeron as well. You know, he's been on those tires for quite some time now, and nearly 20 laps, or at least 15 laps at least. So he's starting to fall back a bit, and he's one of these drivers that is hoping for a caution. But that might be the strategy behind Elwood as well, and Hill, trying to stay out just that little bit extra longer. Schoenberg is going to move up to that 3rd spot, but they might be trying to hope for a late race caution. The 41 of E.J. O'Rourke gets a little bit sideways coming off of turn number 1, but he does gather it back in, and here comes the 83 of Adam Benefield to his outside.
Adam Benefield, one of those guys who had made his green flag pit stop, trying to make up some more ground here, was running that third spot when he did come down. Currently shown in the 10th spot on the board, but he has definitely moved up a couple more spots as well. That forward Timmy Hill, he's making a race out of this. If these guys can make it to the end, if they're saving fuel and trying to stretch us out, I'll tell you what, it's an amazing job doing that. And at the same time, he's running down that 5 machine as well, knocked another 10th off the lead right there. As they head back to turn number 1, Timmy Hill, if he's saving fuel, he's doing a great job getting speed as well.
Yeah, Alan Elwood, he was one of those cars. I think in the first caution, he actually hit the car that spun out. I think it was the 51, I believe, that spun out, and he actually collected him. So he's had a bit of damage as well. So as you can see, that 5 machine has got damage on the front and the rear of that truck. So he's doing a fantastic job to keep that car straight and keep the momentum going.
And, of course, a limited schedule in segment number 1 for that 5, but able to pick up a win at what he called was his favorite track last week at Rockingham Speedway. So able to pick up the win. He races a few more races, has a good, strong showing here in segment number 2. As far as race count, he will definitely make himself eligible for that championship run with that win that he got last week. So definitely nothing to lose for that 5, Alan Elwood, to try a different strategy here. Didn't quite have the speed to battle guys like Brian Schoenberg or Chad Lawton as we go on board now with the 55 of Chad Lawton of Brian Schoenberg. And how about this? The race lead down to 1.7 seconds, and he's got 8 laps left to go, making about 7.5 now. So worked their way into turn number 2, and I'll tell you what, that 55-26, those guys are coming in a hurry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Chad Lawton in the 26. He's starting to reel him in now as Schoenberg is going to go to the inside of Timmy Hill. But while these guys run side by side and they battle each other, that allows the 26 of Chad Lawton to catch him up, as he's now within probably less than half a second, 3/4 of a second of the race lead, as the battle is going to be up for the race lead. And Schoenberg in the 55 is going to pull up on the inside of Alan Elwood, and he's going to take the race lead down the main straightaway into turn 1. Can the 55
I think the fresher tires will definitely prevail right there. Here comes the 26 of Chad Lawton looking to get around him as well. So if these guys are looking for a good finish, they might be able to hang on to this one with 7 to go, coming to 6 this next time. They have an opportunity to get a solid top 5 finish, maybe a top 3 finish for a couple of those guys trying to hang on to it. They got 4.5 seconds, or I'd say about 4 seconds, back to that 83 of Adam Benefield. So they got time, or at least if they can hang on to it, they can maybe get themselves a decent finish out of this one. But as far as a race win, they don't have the tires for that. Off of turn number 3, though, get that 6 to go this time. That 55, Brian Schoenberg, got a mirror full. Here comes the 5 now to pit road, so he will make his final pit stop right now and do it on lap number 55. But how about the battle for the lead that's shaping up as they go into turn number 1? Just 2 truck lengths now separate the top 2.
Yeah, it's now going to be basically a role reversal, switch reversal roles from what we've seen in probably the first 20 to 25 laps when we've seen the 26 of Lawton lead to 55 of Schoenberg. Now it's the other way around, and with just 6 laps to go, anything can happen. It's going to have to be Lawton who will have to get maybe a little bit aggressive to try and make the pass, as we've seen him run the middle part in turns 1, whereas Schoenberg actually ran the bottom side. So now the shoe's on the other foot. What has the 26 got for the 55 as he's going to pull up along the inside of him as they race into turn 3. So this is the battle for the lead in turn number 3.
Great battle it is. Number 2, the 55 touched the wall just a bit, allowed the 26 to get up next to him. And now they'll drag race it to the start-finish line. Side by side, wheel to wheel for the race lead. 5 laps to go here at Pocono. The outside lane, though, might be what the 55 needs here to hang on to it as they head back to 1.
Yeah, Schoenberg, 9/1000ths of a second. That time by past the start-finish line. As the 26 of Lawton, he's going to clear him coming off of turn number 1. And what a drive from a Chad Lawton as he resumes over the race lead with just 5 laps to go. And I don't think Schoenberg has anything for him here.
What a drive right there. I'll tell you what, that was a great pass. We saw it not work for the 55 all race long. He tried to take that lead from Chad Lawton on the bottom side, was unable to hang on to it, but man, I'll tell you what, that 26 was able to keep that thing right to the bottom, glued to the bottom, get back on that throttle. Had a great run down the Long Pond straightaway, takes back over the race lead. We'll come to the line now, 4 to go, and just one truck length separating the top two now, using some draft. They got the draft to the 51 as well. Justin Fuller laps down right ahead of them, and they'll hopefully get around him fairly easily here in turn number 1. But, man, what a great job for the pass. What a great job for the lead, and how about sticking with it for the 26? Takes it over here with just a handful of laps to go, and not looking back right now, just trying to hang on to the race lead and keep that 55 behind him.
Yeah, he's doing a good job, but Schoenberg, he's not giving up just quite yet, as we're going to see the yellow flag come out here on lap number 57.
Yeah, it happened right in front of the leaders, the 32 of that's Joshua Geyer there. 1 lap down, make it 2 now as the leaders go by him, but caution flag out. We're getting ready to come by for the 3 laps to go as the replay goes up on your screen, and going to put an end to this one in the battle we were hoping for at the end. Well, we saw it a couple of laps ago as the 26 was able to get around him, but the caution out for, it looks like Luis Calderon actually involved as well too. Not only the 32, but 72 there. Luis Calderon actually brought out that caution flag. The caution flag, and a couple more laps to get around this place for Chad Lawton, but the dominating car, I definitely will say, is going to go to victory lane tonight.
Yeah, and you just wonder, had that happened just a couple of laps ago, we might have got a green one check. Anything could have happened between the 26 and the 55 between Lawton and Schoenberg, but it will be Lawton going to victory lane. So he's, as I said, he's been dominant all night. He's certainly had that 26 machine hooked up.
Yeah, what if, and how about the what ifs too? If we're back to Schoenberg after this race, but what if he could have held on to that lead for at least another lap or two? We might be talking about that 55 going to victory lane here, basically stealing one away. But Chad Lawton did it well and got to the race lead when it mattered the most, and going to find himself to victory lane here for the first time of the Truck Series season. Segment number 1, it's coming to a close. This is the final race of segment 1, race number 12, Pocono, and got just 2 laps to go when they cross the start-finish line this time by. How about another great, solid run for Adam Bennett? He was able to. Timmy Hill with that strategy to stay out. Looks like he's going to be able to hang on to a top 5 here tonight.
Yeah, interesting decision to stay out, and it just it comes back down to luck as well. You need a little bit of luck, especially on these long races, and just finishes. He will finish in that 4th spot, providing he's got enough fuel to just coast around for these last couple of laps here at Pocono.
Yeah, and I'm looking through the grid here, Brett, and I happen to glance down where our top 2 championship contenders are currently running. How about J.D. Laird? Awesome run for him tonight. Started 14th. He's in 8th right now, but it was 3 points behind him, or 3 places behind him, Bentley Glazer, and I'll tell you what, it was 3 points separating these two coming into the night. So unofficially, I cannot call out who will be our champion, because right now, technically, they're tied. Of course, the drop week has to come into effect as well, so I definitely don't want to jump the gun and call somebody our champion that isn't our champion. So we'll see exactly what will happen with that, and what the tiebreaker will be for that 23 and the 36 of picking up the championship for segment number 1. But Chad Lawton did a great job, dominated this race here, led pretty much every single lap up to this final green flag pit stop. And then Brian Schoenberg, of course, pitting 1 lap sooner, was able to jump out to about a 3-second lead, but unable to hang on to it over the course of the remaining laps of this race. Chad Lawton able to pick that off with about 4 to go. ultimately will find himself in victory lane. Just one more circuit around this place. He's got 2.5 miles to get an hour, and tell you what, these pace laps are about just under 2 minutes, and that's a long time to hope you can get it around again.
Yeah, these guys won't be short on fuel, and we'll try and keep an eye on the 4 of Timmy Hill. He should have enough. The 91 of Doy Woods started position number 26. Actually, didn't actually take a time for qualifying. Managed to finish in that 11th spot, so a great job there. 10th? No, I'm showing 11th here. 11th in there, 91 of Doy Woods, so gaining 15 spots here at Pocono, and another big run from Paul Cooper as well in the 21.
Anyway, things jumbled up here. We got about half a lap to come back to the checkered flag here. Of course, Chad Lawton getting the win. Brian Schoenberg sitting there in that second spot, and a great podium finish for the 83 of Anna Benefield as well. Timmy Hill, Byron Daly, good top 5 runs for those two as well. Great run for that 4, just unable to make all the races. Otherwise, we might be calling him a champion as well. Of course, along with the 8 of Adam Gilliland, who came into the night 10 points back, currently running or shown behind him in 9th. So that damage, that problems that he had getting on the pit road and that final green flag pit stop definitely cost him an opportunity for the championship. But ultimately, 3 wins on the season to open segment number 1. Pretty good job as well for that championship title fight that he'll have in the chase coming up in segment number 3. But we'll see how things go. But oh wow, I think we're going to have a champion here. I think it's going to be JD Laird. Bentley Glazer on pit road. Everything will cycle through right here. But your winner tonight at Pocono, Chad Lawton, gets it done in dominating fashion. Comes home with the victory. His first win of the season. The ASCORS SegPay Truck Series. But I'm hearing on the radio that Bentley Glazer ran out of fuel on the front straightaway on that under the caution flag right there, and that's going to cost him big time right now, showing in that 21st spot. JD Laird will be crowned your champion here for segment number 1. A solid 8th place finish. So we'll talk to him. We'll talk to our top 3 finishers. We'll do all that momentarily. The LSRTV post-race show coming up in just a moment from Pocono. See you in just a moment. You're watching the ASCORS SegPay Truck Series right here on an iRacing Live and LSRTV, the voice of sim racing.
For iRacing to get Le Mans is huge. I mean, this is a unique event, a unique track where, you know, half of the track is public road, so you can never test on it, you never get experience on it, and it's 8 miles in length, 4-minute lap time in a GT car. So, you know, even if you're here for an hour of testing, that's only 15 laps, and you're only going to see the corner 15 times that day. The first section going through the Dunlop area is pretty unique. You know, it's got elevation change and off camber. Then you go down Mulsanne into the chicanes, and you know, the straights are unbelievably long. It's a tricky track, and you know, every year I've come here, this is being my 4th year, you learn something new every time.
We've wanted to add Le Mans to iRacing for a long time, and we've really been working hard towards it for the last 5 years. But really, things only came together in the last week leading up to this race. So it was a real scramble to put everything together. The majority of Le Mans is public roads. So when they're preparing for the 24-hour race, it's really the only time that we can visit to laser scan and photograph the track so that we can recreate it in iRacing. We work closely with the ACO to get essentially exclusive access to the facility and everything that we needed to get the laser scanning and photographic reference that we need to create the track. We were very fortunate to be at Le Mans at the most important time of the year and gain that experience of being there. And we're going to really do the best we can to put that into our work and making sure that the Le Mans in iRacing is the best Le Mans, the most exciting and accurate recreation of the track possible.
Welcome you back to the Pocono Raceways. The LSRTV post-race show gets underway. Get to talk to our Segment 1 champion, of course, our top three finishers as well in just a moment. But first, we'll take you through our full field rundown. Chad Lawton coming home with the victory here tonight in dominating fashion for that number 26. Picks up his first win in segment number 1. Brian Schoenberg, strong effort as well, leading a bunch of laps there towards the end. Comes home in the second spot. Adam Benefield, another top three finish for that 83 machine. Timmy Hill will finish 4th. Byron Daly will round out your top 5. Alex Bergeron, an excellent effort. A strategy call there late in the race, trying to get what he could. He ends up finishing in the 6th spot. 7th goes to Chad Coleman. J.D. Laird, our champion, finished 8th here tonight. Adam Gilliland finished in the 9th spot. And Doy Woods rounded out your top 10.
Yeah, Jake Simmons finished 11th along with behind him was Paul Cooper finishing 12th. Alan Elwood finished 13th. Tommy Ryan from position 17 to finish 14th. EJ O'Rourke finished 15th. Richard Beasley in car number 10 finished position number 16. Behind him went to Justin Weaver, Stephen O'Rourke, position 18. 19th was Jordan Hightower, and 20th last on the lead lap was Justin Fuller.
21st on the board. Bentley Glazer ran out of fuel there in the late stages. I would have really liked to see how that was. He was 3 points behind J.D. Laird before he did run out of fuel. 22nd went to Tyler Dalton. John Wilco will finish 23rd. 24th goes to Luis Calderon. Joshua Geyer will finish 25th. 26th to Alan Cryer. Trey Edson will finish 27th. 28th to David Krikorian. Then Rich Jett and Davey Scoville finish out of this race in 29th and 30th. But it's that time because we're in victory lane and talk to our race-winning driver here tonight, Chad Lawton. He comes through in a big way, dominating fashion here in the final race of the season. Chad Lawton, congratulations. A great win for you here tonight at Pocono.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a good race back. I think I took a few weeks off. Had some other stuff to do outside of the good old sim racing and work on the rail car, but good to get back here at one of my favorite tracks, Pocono, and get a win on the ASCORS.
Yeah, definitely a good way to end segment number 1, picking up the victory here in race number 12. And we saw dominating fashion all night long here, led right from the get-go off the pole. And you had some, after I would say the second restart there, it looked like Schoenberg, you couldn't shake him. That draft really kept him right there on your tail. He tried to take that lead away from you a couple times, but turn number 1, it's real tough to make that pass on the bottom side.
Oh, yeah. Brian was definitely, it was a really exciting race with him. He was just as fast as I was. I just got done talking to him. And he was a lot better than I was in 1. And then I was probably a little bit better than he was in 3. And we kind of evened out at 2. I think I just took less fuel there at the end of that run, it looked like, compared to what he did. And I was able to reel him back in after getting on pit road a little weak and then overshooting the pit box. And I'm just glad I was able to drive the crap out of it and somewhat catch him. I know he ran into a lot of heavy traffic, and I think I was catching guys at better spots, and that's why I was able to get him there.
Yeah, talk about that, though, coming out after that green flag pit stop. We can't really say just pitting one lap behind him really gave him that much of an edge, but he came out almost 3 seconds ahead of you. Talk about trying to, when you see that gap on the screen and the laps are ticking away, and this racetrack can be pretty tough to catch somebody when they're running a pretty equivalent lap time as you, but were you worried at all that you weren't going to catch him, or were you just buckled down and right at it, just trying to do everything you could?
Once I kind of messed up on pitting and he got that far ahead, I was kind of content with where we were going to finish. I honestly didn't think I was going to catch him, and then I realized, I started to notice he was catching guys at the wrong point, and then on top of that run before we pitted, I was extremely loose. I want to say he was too. And when I started to reel him in a little bit at a time, I realized, he took full fuel and I didn't, and I had that a little bit of bite better on exit than he was getting. And once I started getting closer and closer, I started driving the car a little bit harder, and it was staying under me and wasn't getting loose, and I was able to just drive it harder and eventually get him.
Yeah, he wasn't able to seal the deal on the bottom side in turn 1, like I mentioned, but you were able to get the pass on him on that bottom side. The forward bite definitely helped you on that corner there, and once it was from there, you're able to pull out to about a 3 or 4 truck length lead and never looked back from that point on. Obviously, the caution flag coming out there at the end really didn't allow anything else to set up from there, but I think that there was no way he was going to be able to get back around you anyway, even if it did run those last couple of laps out. But it's a good thing you did pass him when you did. If it wasn't a lap or two later, we'd be talking to a different winner here.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I caught that caution at the right time. Even when I got by him, he was still able to stay with me. I was actually starting to get loose after driving it so hard, but it just feels good to get a win. I know I've been decently fast the races I've ran, and it's been pit strategy that's kind of put me in the mid-pack or whatever, and it almost seemed like that was going to happen again to me tonight, but I was able to come back and finally get a win here in the ASCORS series.
Well, you're able to get that win in your 5th start on the season. Not too shabby. 3 top 5s in those 5 starts as well, and a couple of poles to go along with the win, Chad. But sponsors, shout-outs, who helps you get to the track each and every time, and who gets you to victory lane here tonight?
Definitely Dylan Duvall and Infinite Creative Solutions. He's been painting my cars for a long time, and I appreciate everything he does for me and our team. He has some of the best paints out there. I also want to give a shout out to Tim Terry, Tim's Corners. We're going to try to work out a deal to have me have him on the truck for the next segment or the next the season that we're going to have here on ASCORS, and get him on there. And obviously the team and all those guys who've been there day in and day out and working with me and getting better, and definitely you guys here at LSRTV for giving me a place to race.
Well, we appreciate that, and congratulations again on the big win tonight, and we'll see hopefully some more in segment 2.
All right, thank you.
There you have it, our winner here tonight at Pocono Speedway. One of his favorite tracks. He likes it a lot. He was able to get the job done in dominating fashion and pulls out the victory, but he had to do it at the end there to get around the 55 of Brian Schoenberg, and he did that as well tonight on Brian Schoenberg, and Brian Schoenberg is now caught up with Brett down there on pit road.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. I'm standing here in pit road with Brian Schoenberg. Brian, you finished second tonight. A little disappointing in that one, but I guess you got to be overall happy with the second place finish here at Pocono.
Yeah, totally, Brett. I'm not really too disappointed with it. We had a great truck tonight. Pocono is one of my better tracks, and we were just pretty darn quick. It was just kind of myself and Chad out there racing each other together, and at one point we figured it was honestly a lot quicker just to ride around instead of battle each other, so I was able to ride behind him there, and I was able to pit one lap earlier than him and kind of leapfrog by him on the green flag pit strategy there, but he ended up getting the best of me. He didn't fill his truck up all the way with fuel on that final pit stop, and I filled it up, and we're downshifting in 1 and 3, and I was just sideways as heck that whole last run, and he was able to basically flat-foot it from what he was telling me, but he ran me clean all race. He gave me plenty of room, and he deserved to win there at the end. I kind of got the wall in the tunnel turn there, but which allowed him to get by me, but he was going to get by me within a corner or two anyways, that much quicker, but it was a great race, and I had a lot of fun battling him.
Yeah, what was the reason behind the that one lap earlier pit strategy? Obviously, you spoke about just then. It was quicker for you guys just to run together rather than battle each other. Really pull away from the pack and just have your own little 2-car battle. What was the reasoning to pit that 1 lap earlier?
I was just going to try and leapfrog him. When you can beat somebody down onto pit road, the tires are so much quicker for the first lap or two that if you really nail your green flag pit stop, you can gain a lot of time on them on the back end of it. Unfortunately, I entered pit road like a 110-year-old grandpa that hasn't raced in a long time, and I cost myself a lot of time there, but it made me feel a little bit better that Chad told me that he got on the pit road really conservative as well, and then he overshot his pit stall actually, so I was able to gain a little bit of time on him there, but him having 1 lap newer tires, as crazy as it sounds, makes a decent difference, but really what got me was him not filling up all the way, and I did. Otherwise, I mean, we were pretty evenly matched the whole race, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, when you come off pit road and when he went down a lap later, there was only, I think it was about 3 seconds. I don't want to put the downer on this one, but you were about 3 seconds ahead of him, and he actually managed to reel in driving through gaining positions on the cars that hadn't gone down pit road. Could you see him closing in? Were you watching in your mirror that he was coming?
Yeah, you better believe I was, and I kind of knew I was running out of time there towards the end, especially, Pocono has such long straightaways, too. If you get off the corners better than a guy, you're going to gain a lot of time on them, and he was gaining about 2-3 tenths a lap easily, sometimes more, and there was one point where I had to pass like 3 or 4 people for position down the front stretch all at once, that were on a different fuel strategy, and it cost me a decent amount of time there, so I could definitely see him coming, believe me.
All right, man. Well, yeah, congratulations on second place. But how about you going to give some sponsors and shout outs to the people that help you get here?
Really, I want to thank everybody that's participated in segment 1 of the ASCORS SegPay Truck Series. Thank Garrett Smithley Racing, and SegPay for sponsoring this series. This is honestly one heck of a series, and I've had many people tell me before it's hard to find a truck league like this anywhere else. So it's definitely been a great segment 1. So first and foremost, I want to thank everybody that participated in the race, in the league itself. I want to thank DJ Lion for officiating the series throughout the whole segment. I want to thank Adam Gilliland, JD Laird, Joshua Geyer, our other sponsors, Pro Geek Consulting with Matt Salo, and Main Performance PC with Michael Main, and just everybody that makes it possible. Thank you guys as well, LSRTV, for being here tonight. Thank Andy, Cisco, Evan. Nice to see you here, Brett, as well. And just thank all you guys for everything you do. And it was a heck of a segment. And I'm kind of sad this series isn't racing until about another month from now with segment 2 starting. So we'll be having registration signups for people outside the league that might be interested in it. Go to ASCORSracing.com for more details as it becomes available. And then also, of course, congrats to JD Laird on the championship, and hopefully you'll hear from him shortly.
There we have it. That was Brian Schalberg in the 55, finishing second here tonight at Pocono. As we just move along down pit road, the man that finishing third, I think it was the car of 83 of Adam Benefield. Adam, congratulations on finishing third here at Pocono.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was a fun race. Didn't know if I was going to have time to get back up there to third, but luckily was able to snag it and walk away with another podium.
Hey, you're certainly a little bit back from the top 2 guys there in the race. As you said, you fell back a few spots there, but you managed to work your way up. Talk about the battle towards the last sort of 5 to 10 laps, where you had to you had to move past those cars to get into this third podium spot.
Yeah, I mean, it started, at the beginning. I felt like I had the same speed as Brian and Chad. Once I did get my way to third, they didn't pull. I didn't gain. It was just steady, same lap times from what I was looking at on the tracker. But, they had better track position from the start. I had to work my way through some trucks, and, by the time I got to third, they done built up over a 2-second lead. So I was just riding, hoping for a caution, and, we didn't get one. But right there we pitted. I seen Brian go down, and I knew I was going to pit when either Chad or Brian pitted. And so Brian went down, I followed him, slid through the box a little bit, put us behind the 8 ball. But we were able to, save, and that's what really helped me out. But was able to get by him and hang on to third, and, another top 3. You're ready to win one of these things.
Yeah, you're not too far away from winning one, definitely. But talk about how tough Pocono is. How much throttle control do you got to use, especially going into all the corners. Really, it's a tough track to master. And just talk about how much throttle control you're using and what the track's like to race.
It's to me it's fun. It was it's not a very good comparison, but it's like Rockingham last week. The tires go out, and the truck gets loose, and it benefits a dirt guy like myself and steering it basically with the throttle. So it's pretty good for me. Wasn't that bad at all, but I mean, it's different. Turn 1, you gotta navigate the bumps to get a good run off. Tunnel turn, you just carry as much speed and try to be as smooth as possible through there, and then turn 3, you're really just, working the throttle on the bottom and try not to pitch the truck out too much and get a good solid run coming off the corner. So, it's a difficult track, but it's one of my favorite tracks on here because of all 3 corners are different and the bump. Repave it. But, it's fun little track.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on finishing 3rd here at Pocono. I'm sure you got some sponsors you want to thank.
Yeah, Roll Speed Dynamics, Southern Speed Fabrication, GameBots, and APC. I feel bad for a teammate Bentley. He tried to put himself right there at the end to give JD a run. Short on fuel. I think the way from what we were talking down there in the waiting room, JD had it no matter what. But he still gave it a hell of a shot, and he did everything he could. So I'm proud of Bentley. I'm proud of the guys at APC for helping us out. We tested a lot last night for this race, trying to help Bentley be prepared for it. But you guys, this segment right here, I mean, it's been some really good racing, and I'm glad y'all were the broadcast team that was able to cover it and capture all the action. And Brian with ASCORS and putting this whole deal together, JD and all them for they really worked hard, and they put on one of the best leagues I've ever been in. They're doing a hell of a job, and I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Well, congratulations on finishing in that 3rd spot. And once again, your top 3, Chad Lawton in the 26, finishes first here at Pocono. Brian Schoenberg in the 55 will get 2nd, and Adam Benefield will finish in the 3rd spot. That's all from me. I'm going to throw it over to Andy, who is with your top 2 in the championship standings.
That's right. I am. We're talking about Adam Benefield. How about a season he had? 8 starts, 6 top 5s in those 8 starts. Just think, if he was able to start all 12, we might be talking to him as champion. Well, it's all about what ifs at this point, but how about Bentley Glazer? What an outstanding segment 1. Bentley, 12 starts you made, and a couple laps to go. You were sitting a couple spots behind JD, and I was like, oh, man, I don't know what the tiebreaker is, but it's going to be awfully close, and then you end up coming up just a little bit short on fuel there.
Yeah, it was a really good race, and I kind of messed myself up because I overdrove the tunnel turn and got up and down Elwood, I think, and really hurt my car, actually. I didn't think I hit him that bad, but I had 20 seconds of damage, and I was going backwards fast. I really didn't know I had the damage, so that put me back there, and I just tried to make it on fuel, and just a little short.
Well, just a little short, but you can't hang your head at all. What an outstanding segment 1 for you. And how can you use the momentum of this to move on into segment 2? I know we get a little bit of a break, about 3 or 4 weeks off here before we get into that, but can you keep the momentum going? Can you put yourself even closer to try to get yourself locked for segment 3?
I don't know. I don't plan on running full-time next segment. Just, I want to do some NIS racing, and it's been fun.
Well, that it definitely has been a lot of fun. A lot of fun to see you running as well as you have in this first segment, Bentley, but came up a little bit short, but overall, you got to be pretty happy with that, and we'll give you the opportunity here, sponsor shout-outs. Who helps you get it done each and every week?
My team, APC, and I got to thank ASCORS and SegPay for putting this on. It's been a real fun season. If people are looking to join a good league, this is it. Because, I mean, they're the fastest here, and everyone races real hard, and it's really clean. I don't think you can find a better league.
Well, I second that thought right there, Bentley. Congratulations again on this first segment, and we hope to see you a bunch more times here before this season's over.
All right, thank you.
All right, well, there you have it. Bentley Glazer coming up just a little bit short, and that'll be that. But we'll go over to the championship stage now and catch up with our champion of segment number 1. Of course, that is the 23, J.D. Laird. And JD, congratulations on the Segment 1 championship. Didn't get a victory. We're very consistent overall and had a pretty good average finish for the 12 races you had here.
I'll gladly take a 0 in the win column if I. We were talking about it off to the side, and it was a battle of consistency between me and Bentley, and it sucks for him that he ran out of gas at the end because it would have been really, really close because it was looking like it was a tie. But yeah, it was one hell of a battle of consistency all season long.
Yeah, I was looking at the when that caution came out, I kind of took a glance at the leaderboard and where you guys were, and I saw he was about 3 spots behind you, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what the tiebreaker is, but it's going to be awfully close here, and then he runs out of fuel, so ultimately made it a little bit easier, a little sigh of relief for yourself there, but still an overall a great run here tonight at Pocono, top 10. You finished 8th in this race, and it didn't look always that good there early on, but you were able to stick it out. A tough track to get all 3 corners correct and have a solid run like you did.
Oh yeah, like I had the mindset going in that I don't have the championship, so if I get completely destroyed and end up saying what up to the squirrels off of turn 1, then it is what it is. And it helped me with the mindset of just relaxing. Like even when the championship wasn't in my hands because Bentley stayed out and I was like 10 spots behind, I was just like, relax, he might still have to pit. I could probably pass him on the racetrack, and then wherever the cards end up and however they fall, that's it. So it didn't look good for a while, but I just kept the mindset and it worked out.
Yeah, it actually did work out very well for you. Obviously picking up the championship here in Segment 1. Talk about this truck series. The first segment so far, I know you got a big part to do with the league itself as well, too. I mean, 30 trucks in the last race of the segment here at Pocono. I mean, that's an outstanding field you got going on here.
I think out of the 3, the truck series is probably the most competitive out of everybody. Like we had 7 guys with a shot at the championship going into the final race. Like you don't really see that anywhere else. After 12 races, like usually you see like 2 or 3 break away, but 7 realistically had a shot, and it wasn't like, and they were all competitive, and probably at one point it was going in everybody's favor. So I speak highly of this series. Like I thought this would be probably the lowest one of the bunch because it's entry level, but it made it the most competitive. And to race with DWC caliber drivers like Adam Gillen, Timmy Hill, that were in the shop for the championship, racing with Trey, and then battling the championship with Bentley and Doy and Beasley. It was a matter of when did you not screw up, because everybody was so good that one race could decide the championship. And it, like I said earlier, it was just a battle of consistency. You had to be on your game for 12 straight weeks. This league seems to put pride on. You got to be on your game week after week after week. It's not just, I can finish 35th and be out of it. You got to be on it every race, every time.
Yeah, I mean, you'll look at 12 races over the course of the season, 8 different winners. Of course, 2 guys coming out with 3 wins, but 8 different winners in 12 races. That just shows you the competition level. And when you look at the entry list of the guys that could come in here and steal a win on any given week, I mean, it's just endless, honestly, with this truck series. It's been an absolute blast to cover. I can't wait for Segment 2, and I know it's going to be even that much better for you as you continue your charge. Hopefully find your way to victory lane eventually here in Segment 2, and definitely lock yourself in for that championship run for the season championship here coming up in Segment 3.
The next segment's going to be awesome because not only is there a segment championship, we got the chase, and it's the knockout style chase, and there's more people in the chase, and it's more races. So it's going to be very entertaining to see not 1 but 2 points battles going on, and with the added excitement of the knockout chases. You guys are in for a treat coming up here in the next few months.
Yeah, I think I'm in for a headache trying to keep track of all the different point standings as well, too. But I'm sure we'll figure it out. We got plenty of time to get practice on that as the season goes on. But, JD, congratulations on the Segment 1 championship. Sponsors, shout-outs. It's got to be somebody that helped you get that 23 to the track.
Absolutely. I got to thank Scott and Daniel Anderson with Anderson Surfboards and Aquatech Glassing, Aiden and Michael Lang with Langford Farms and Spirited by Brad, V8 Vapes. Oh God, I got way too many. Now I'm forgetting them. Duke Metal Designs, JDR Graphics, RD Spring and Stamping. The list goes on and on and on. Why am I forgetting all these guys when it matters? Even though it's just driving a desk, it means a lot that they care just a little bit to watch me drive my desk and to win a championship. So this is my thank you to them. Got to give a shout out to Brian for joining up with me and all the admins, Dan Lyon, Josh Geyer, Adam Gill, and everybody else in the background to make this league possible. Got to thank you guys, especially at LSRTV, for putting up with us for every Wednesday and Sunday. And you guys make it better for us because you get to broadcast us driving our desks and getting mad at it and winning championships and races. So it's all about you. Just thank you so much.
Well, we appreciate that, and it's all about the squirrels in turn 1 also. So,
gotta give a shout out to Scruffy. He's been around for 10 years.
There you go. So, well, with that said, congratulations again, JD. Awesome job here in segment number 1. We look forward to segment 2, obviously here. Obviously a little bit of a break, 3-4 weeks off here, but plenty of time for everybody that wants to get involved with this series to get over to ASCORS. Racing.com and get signed up. I mean, this is absolutely phenomenal. 30 guys here, last race of the season, and it's just an amazing field, amazing competition. You better get over there, get signed up, and get a part of this here, segment number 2. It's not too late to get joined up and have an opportunity to win a championship, whether it's a segment championship or the overall season championship. So, congratulations again, JD Laird, and we'll look forward to seeing you coming up in segment number 2.
Appreciate it, guys.
Hey, what, Brett? It's been an awesome truck season. I know this has been your first race, but it's been a lot of fun covering these guys over the last 12 weeks, and I'm sure this next segment, even though we get a little bit of a break in between it, I'm sure the racing energy, the competition's going to get that much greater, and with 4 weeks off, you're just going to add, I think, a lot more talent to this pool of drivers we already have.
Yeah, if tonight was to go by anything, and what we've seen what I didn't see in the previous 11 weeks, I'm sure it's basically laying the platform for what we're going to see in the next segment when it comes to racing the trucks with the ASCORS guys. They are a great bunch of guys, great bunch of talent as well. So good luck to all those guys in the second segment. But tell you what, well done to JD Laird winning the championship without the victory. That just goes to show that you don't have to win a race to win a championship.
No, you're absolutely right about that. It's all about consistency. He was able to get it done with Bentley Glazer all season long, pretty much since Daytona. Those two guys have been swapping the lead back and forth, seemed to be every other week. So it's just been a great season to cover all around, or at least I should say not season, segment of the season. We still got 2 more segments to go. Lots of racing to come up here, the SegPay SegPay Truck Series, and lots more to come every Wednesday night over the course of 2016. We want to thank, of course, the SegPay. For over 10 years, SegPay has been processing the online payment transactions for merchants in all categories with a specialization in helping retailers process credit card transactions. They are a leader in card-not-present transactions that have strong relationships with acquiring banks and with credit card schemes. Learn more at SegPay.com. They are the proud sponsor of the ASCORS Truck Series. And, of course, Garrett Smithley Racing, the proud sponsor of Garrett Smithley and the number 0 JD Motorsports Chevy Camaro on the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Well, we got a few weeks off, but we got a lot to look forward to. And how about getting over to ASCORSRacing.com and get signed up for segment number 2 and join in on all the fun that happens every single Wednesday night right here on LSRTV and, of course, streamed on iRacing Live as well. I want to thank Brian Schoenberg, DJ Lyon, for all the work they do. Of course, JD Laird and everybody else at the ASCORS League that gets this done and gets these races up and going. And of course, we want to thank everybody behind the scenes with Live Sim Racing TV. And you can check us out at livesimracing.com. Check out our full broadcast schedule, all the racing that happens all week long right here. And of course, follow us on Facebook at Live Sim Racing TV. Want to thank everybody who tuned in here tonight. And of course, we want to thank everybody behind the scenes, LSRTV, and of course, the broadcast crew for the night. Myself, Andy Kessler, Brett Wheeler, and Cisco Scaramuza down in that production trailer. Want to congratulate again Chad Lawton on the big win here tonight at Pocono. Of course, JD Laird picking up Segment 1's championship. There's more to come. Segment 2, it's not too far away. Get signed up today. We'll see you out here on the track next time on LSRTV.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented under the authority of LSRTV LLC and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations and may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form, nor the accounts and descriptions of this event disseminated in any way without the express written permission of Live Sim Racing TV. LSRTV would like to thank its loyal fans for their continued support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.